Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. So it's time for a Peter Like Show prayer request. Please pray for some good health for me, and I'm thinking of making a move finally on a girl that I know at a board game meetup. I'll call her Kelly because just think Kelly Clarkson. And at some point, I'll probably be going car shopping. I've been kind of putting it off, but I have a little bit of a trade off going on. My car's got 175,000 miles on it, and I did some googling and I read that December or January would be the best time of the year to buy a car. And at the same time, the car still runs. And my thought is that the longer I can put off buying the car, the more money I could put toward it, the better a car I could finally get. But the trade off is that it may come to a very untimely end, right? That's the typical luck that I have if I do that, right? My computer always dies when I go to the Computer Olympiad conferences. Cars always die in the middle of nowhere, right? Even though I love talking about breaking up gracefully at the end of a relationship, the breakups never happen at a time that I that's convenient for me, right? They always happen when I also happen to have difficulties at work. They always happen when I'm financially vulnerable as well, right? They never come at the best times, right? And so that's why I'm kind of leaning toward buying the car when I still have a running car, right? Rather than just trying to squeeze all the miles out of it. If I try to squeeze all the miles out of it, and it comes to a very untimely end, I might not even get the financial benefit that I thought I would, right? So that's the trade off there, right? Let's talk about let's see, old school days of maintain and drive as long as you can. Well, I'm already, let's see, the windshield is cracked, and I don't even want to fix that because I feel like I'm just gonna let the car be. The upholstery is a disaster, and the car's burning oil. It needs more oil than gas, it seems like, and and I haven't run into too much of this lately, but since moving to Arizona, I keep running into flat tires because we have a lot of just debris. It's desert. There's no rain to wash stuff away, and I wish I had thought about the kind of tires when I had bought the car. They're very low profile tires, not the best for driving in Phoenix. They were okay over in Seattle, and so I am thinking of driving it as long as I can. But like I said, it may come to a very untimely end at the very end, right? So if I make it to December without a problem, I'll probably go car shopping then because that's the best time of the year to do it anyway for buying a used car. Apparently, December, January, February is the best time of the year. So maybe pray for that. About the situation with Kelly, here's the problem. I go to a board game meetup every Monday night, and I've been going to that meetups for 7, 8 months, and so Kelly's been there even longer. But I really only noticed her about 3 months ago. But I really love that meetup group. I would hate to ruin the dynamics of it. I would hate to ruin what connection I do have with Kelly right now, right? And but then the reason I thought about making a move on her this week was that earlier today I was programming an AI for a game that both of us love, and it dawned on me that I'm willing to try all sorts of novel approaches when I'm writing my computer games, even though I have no idea whether or not they will work. Why am I willing to do that? And the reason is that I just have so much more experience with that. And I'm not scared when I see a million error messages on the screen, right? And I wish I could behave like that in personal life as well. I really do. The other reason that made me think about Kelly is that next month we have a lunar eclipse. And I was thinking about back in April when I took the trip to Kerrville, Texas to go see the solar eclipse, how painful that trip was because I was going alone. Kerrville is about 1,000 miles from Phoenix. I definitely want to replace my car before I ever make another trip like that. I certainly wouldn't take the car in the condition it is in right now to do that. But it's about 1,000 miles away. I took a week off of work, and when I stopped in the small towns to oh, here's the other funny part of the trip. The solar eclipse was on a Monday, and I made sure I did the bulk of the driving on Saturday because I have this really bad luck that if I ever get a flat tire, it always happens on a Sunday. You know, I was thinking about the last 3 flat tires that I had. They all happened on Sunday, and I'll let you do the math. And if there's a 1 in 7 chance of getting a flat tire on a Sunday, probably even less because I tend to drive a lot less on Sundays, right? If there's a 1 in 7 chance, 7 times 7 times 7, get out your calculator, find out what the probability of getting 3 flat tires on Sundays is, right? And that's the kind of rotten luck that I typically have, right? If there's a 1 in 1,000 chance that when I ask Kelly out on a date, it's going to ruin the dynamics of the meetup group, it's going to happen to me. And so that trip was really painful because of trying to go there on a Saturday and also making the trip alone and having no energy at the small towns. And that's when I stopped to think about, should I ask Kelly to join me for the lunar eclipse? I probably wouldn't go as far as Kerrville because the lunar eclipse, as long as it's not cloudy, right? At best, I might have to go to a nearby like Flagstaff or where is that? Tucson if it does get cloudy here, right? We'll see. We got another month to see, right? But the other thing that made me think about Kelly was that I went to my storage unit to pack away all my bismuth art because, as you guys know, I'm taking a break from it. And as I was leaving the storage unit, I thought about what would happen to all of my bismuth if something untoward were to happen to me, right? I blow a tire and then the car goes screeching into a tree or something like that, right? And that's when I thought about Kelly again. Throw a plug kit in, tire inflator, now I run over a ton of junk here in the Phoenix area. I don't think a tire kit would really help. I think it would hurt because it would damage the wheel and all that. Okay. Also, pray for good health as well. I haven't been really taking good care of my body ever since I went crazy over the bismuth arts. I had some drama. Not drama, but I had some things at work that made me wish I had some more leverage, and that's when I was talking to a colleague at work, and I was mentioning how at a previous job, how people treated my ADHD and my food allergies as almost a liability rather than maybe in a different. I was talking to my colleague, and I suggested that maybe in a different universe, those things could actually be strengths, right? After all, a person with ADHD who thinks up of 20 different ideas sometimes just might hit on a new chemical element or a new AI algorithm. And maybe somebody who has food allergies and needs to enforce like no food at the meeting could empower other people to open up and realize that there's life outside of food, right? And my colleague says, well, you are a liability. We can't eat anywhere around you. You know, people love their food. And he was very closed-minded. And it made me wish that I could have just left my job at that moment. And that's when I went home and poured tons and tons of bismuth, and I got myself burnt out. And as a result, I wasn't even eating very well after I was doing that anyway. So it's just a weird dynamic. So a lot of stuff has been happening as of late. But you know what? I took a break from the bismuth. I wrote a couple computer games, and it hit me that why am I willing to if I'm not willing to ask Kelly out on a date, why am I willing to ask all of these game ideas out on a date that I don't even know if they exist, right? And that's what I thought about Kelly. All right, so I'll give it a try this Monday. I got to clean up my car first. Part of the problem, actually, I'm actually thinking about taking a mini road trip, and the problem is that here in the Phoenix area, it's 115 degrees. I so much want to clean up all the clutter in my car, but I try to do that for 2 minutes, and I'm forced to run inside to get some air conditioning. I'm thinking about taking a trip to Flagstaff or somewhere where it only goes up to 80 or 90 degrees. You know, have a fun weekend, and at the same time clean up my car while I'm there, right? But I want to do it today because if I drive on Sunday, I'll have bad luck again. All right, please pray for me. This is the Peter Dislike Show, or Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum.